How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another awesome episode of Yolk'd. I'm Kyle.
And I'm Paul. Today we have some tech news to talk about as usual. We also have a very special announcement. So
Yes, we do.
I think we'll save that for the end though. So we're just going to proceed for now. But Kyle, where's your other hand?
Switches be trippin'. For a while, the only choice of mechanical switch for most manufacturers was Cherry MX. Due to patents being lifted, there has been an explosion of other switch types, often done by the manufacturer brands themselves with third parties or in-house. On top of that, a new keyboard trend has been using individual RGB LED lights underneath the switch for each key. Corsair and Rosewell have already debuted their offerings, and now Logitech wants to get in on the fun. They've just announced the G910 Orion Spark, which will feature their own mechanical switch that they've partnered with Omron to make. They've called it the Roamer G, yeah dog, and it supports 16.8 million colors for each key. Of course, extensive software by Logitech will accompany this board in order to program it down to the minutiae level. More on the switches themselves. As of this time, they are exclusive to the G910 Orion Spark, and they are designed with a small actuation point of just 1.5 millimeters from the top of the key. They have a soft spring filling and tactile bump upon actuation, but no audible click. Sounds neat and all, but with an MSRP of $179.99, that's a lot of moolah for your own personal light show.
Now that the initial wave of euphoria and/or nausea over Apple's announcement of a slightly larger phone has passed, people are starting to take a closer look at the fine print. One of the big talking points about the new iPhones is that there will be an NFC chip inserted into them at last. Whether you'll be able to actually take advantage of it when the phone is released is another story. Apparently, Apple has locked out developers from creating APIs to actually make it work. Since iPhones are the only premium phone on the market without NFC technology, why would Apple go to so much effort to include it in their new phones and then turn a cold shoulder to developers? While Apple might claim it's because they want to make sure their NFC is as secure as possible, ultimately it comes down to control. Apple wants to make sure that whatever is developed around the NFC won't supersede their own in-house software. In fact, they probably would just prefer to develop APIs for NFC themselves rather than trusting anyone else to do it. This falls in line with their typical MO, so why is anyone surprised? Are you surprised? I'm not surprised. It's f***ing Apple.
Today might as well be renamed Nvidia Day instead of just boring September 18th, because today is when all of the heavy NDA finally lifts over the 900 series graphics cards. While samples are scarce at the moment due to their demand, we were able to keep a few of them in the office to run some benchmarks, which will undoubtedly be shared with you soon enough. However, if you were lucky enough to register for one of Nvidia's Game 24 events happening today, you will also get a more in-depth look at the hardware there. As for the raw spec sheets, the GTX 970 has 1664 CUDA cores with a base clock of 1050 MHz and a boost clock of 1178 MHz. For memory, you get 4 GB of GDDR5 memory on a 256-bit memory bus. The GTX 980 sports 2048 CUDA cores with a base clock of 1126 MHz and a 1216 MHz boost clock. Memory amounts are the same as the GTX 970, and both cards will feature support for DirectX 12 as well as dynamic super resolution for better 4K fidelity. As for the Game 24 event, there's supposed to be some new world records being set, as well as some announcements from game publishers who are attending. Those of you who got in may also be able to spot some of the Newegg TV team that are there as we speak. So if you happen to see Jenny or Steve, go on ahead and say hi, and feel free to touch them. Just don't ask for a look at our 970 samples, because they've already been taken from us. Such a short time we had together, but we'll cherish it forever. Oh, and if you want to know what AMD thinks about all this attention Nvidia's getting, well, let's just say it resembles that of a child meeting their younger sibling for the first time and realizing they won't be their parents' favorite anymore. AMD still has the fastest card on the market, and to make that clear in everyone's mind, they're asking some of their die-hard fans who got access to the Nvidia event to wear red shirts and post as many pictures possible to the official Game 24 Twitter account. Now tell me, where do you draw the line between clever and desperate? In this case, somewhere between Nvidia and AMD.
The X99 launch has come and gone with its fair share of hardware reveals, tech ogling, and over-the-top enthusiast builds. ASUS was keen to talk about the merits of their special OC Socket design for the LGA 2011-3 boards, claiming that through engineering mastery and the addition of 6 extra pins, higher and more stable overclocking frequencies could be achieved on both the CPU and DDR4 memory. Rumors were swirling in the first week or two that the specialized socket might actually void your CPU's warranty from Intel, and although these rumors have proven to be false, ASUS is considering some additional steps to ensure that the OC socket design remains unique to ASUS motherboards. According to Maximum PC and DigiTimes, they suspect foul play somewhere along the manufacturing supply chain and are contemplating legal action. If supply chain makers did in fact leak confidential OC socket designs to competitors, and those competitors proceed with plans to release X99 models with similar functionality, litigation could ensue. The competitors named thus far include ASRock, MSI, and Gigabyte.
Alright guys, it's going to wrap up the show for today. Thank you all for watching. As we mentioned earlier this week, we are undergoing a few changes here at the Newegg TV studio, one of which is actually having Q&A now as a built-in segment into Alt-Tab. So you're going to be seeing that segment every Friday as well. And starting next week, we're actually going to be reducing Yolk'd to once a week just to enhance and bring out the quality of it a bit more, but you're still going to see all the regular hosts on that show as well.
That's right, Kyle. So Yolk'd will be on Wednesdays now instead of Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then Kyle and I are also slightly modifying our roles here at Newegg TV. So we're going to be doing a little bit of behind-the-scenes work, and you'll see us slightly less frequently. But don't worry, we're still going to be appearing on the Yolk'd show once a week, as well as an Alt-Tab show. We'll be doing some product videos too, so you'll still be seeing our faces, maybe just a little bit less frequently.
That's right. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Kyle.
Hey, why did we hold hands earlier anyway?
Oh. I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'm Paul.
Kyle.
And you have just been
Yolk'd.